You guessed it, Pressure Points with your two favorite hosts. I'm D, and this is Extortionist AJ. We're coming at you with Season 4, Episode 44, The Big Ol' Boom. We're flying back into the 80s once again and talking about gambling. Find us on Instagram and Twitter at PointsOPressure. Strap in and let's get to it.
It's always weird how it comes back to gambling.
I mean,
Just
every
like
time it comes back to gambling and
Nazis.
It comes back to Nazis. And I've got a treat for you today. It involves both.
No, there aren't Nazis in this story. You're a liar.
Okay. So, how you been this week, man?
Okay, you're just going to move on?
Yeah, I'll get to it.
Oh, fuck. I'm ready for not being alive. No, it's just super busy.
Yeah?
Yeah. Work,
School.
School's about to ramp up. By the time the next season starts, it's going to ramp up. And technically...
AJ is going to be balls deep in clinicals.
Oh, yeah. But this is our last episode of the season.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. Episode 44, we made it.
Yep.
We're back January.
We'll get a date, and we'll let you guys know, next
Sometime.
week.
It's usually like the first
We'll
week
tell you
or two.
next week.
Yeah,
I don't know.
exactly.
Yeah.
No, but we'll be back. It's been. Let's reflect on this season.
Oh, it's been a good season.
Well, hold on.
Let me
How
pull
have you
up
been?
the episodes. Myself,
Yeah.
pretty bad, but I mean, it's all right.
It's getting
it is
there.
what it is. Yeah, this has been one of the rougher seasons for me to stay locked in and get shit done.
I meant
But-
how you were doing last week. I didn't
Oh.
know you were just not
Yeah.
wanting to be in this podcast anymore.
No.
Oh my god.
I like the podcast. I've just been in a really shitty mental place the last 6 months. So
Well, yeah.
here we are.
Well, let us know if you like the longer season, because we can go back to 2 a year if that's easier.
Yeah, or don't let us know because that's pretty
That's pretty much what happens
standard response.
whenever I ask for anything. That's okay. I know people don't respect me, so that's totally
But yeah, we had a
Dude, it was
fucking
good.
long, good 2021. The show was great. The year was garbage, but yeah, I mean, fuck. What do we start off with? We introduced Bear this year.
Fucking
Brought him
G.
on for a handful of episodes. Let's
Hell
see. What
yeah.
did we start off with? What was our first one?
Our first one?
Our first one that wasn't interesting and unusual deaths.
Oh,
John
oh.
Palmer and the Dirty Dick Boys.
Oh, that had the best name.
It was.
That was the
a
best
solid
name.
one. We changed studios this year.
Yeah,
we
upgraded.
came downstairs. It got a lot cooler.
Yes.
We had Hashashin's Creed.
Oh, that was
a good
fun. I
one.
liked that one.
The fucking Bathhouse Blues.
Yeah.
Not bad. Yeah,
I'm trying to catch up.
Oh shit. I got
John
locked
Keel, I
up
talked about
because you locked in.
UFOs.
Yeah, I fell asleep on air.
Yes, very good. We did some of the things that you definitely have seen before. I'm sure if you're into
Yeah.
podcasts, like our take on the Radium Girls. Great name, Lip Dip Paint.
Yeah. Couple survival stories this year.
I've actually been
a
getting
good
pretty
one.
good feedback on
That's what
survival
I've heard,
stories.
yeah.
So I say keep them going, especially if
will,
they're
yeah. I've
in the
got
historical context.
I've got a handful of them.
context. I've been logged out. Please relog back in.
But yeah, so far a really successful season, and I mean we hit some benchmarks that on Patreon that I never really expected to hit within our first year of having that up.
Oh yeah, definitely.
AJ still hasn't posted the video that was promised to you guys.
Well, now I don't have
months
the
ago,
excuse not to.
but,
I totally you were supposed to text me and remind me to. I still have it, so
Oh yeah.
so
Upload
it'll
that.
be just when you watch the video. Just imagine there are more cups and beer bottles everywhere.
Yeah, it's kind of a lot more dirty in here over the course of the last 6 months, but
It
that's
happens.
okay because we made it.
We made
it this far.
You learned my fears of UFOs and the Noid.
It's the start of something big. We hit season 5.
Yeah, that's more than I thought we were gonna hit.
Season 5 in January.
And this season, not including this episode, we're just below 8,000 downloads,
for the year.
which is for this season, and that's almost half of our total. Like
10 months, yeah. Not
we
bad.
did phenomenally.
And it's all thanks to you, the listener.
To you.
If only I had the PBS.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
We'd like to thank our sponsors. And you.
It's made possible by viewers like you.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you.
But honestly,
But yeah,
we
really.
really do appreciate you guys supporting us and everything, and stuff.
Memeing us.
Are. Yeah.
Sending us some cool ass stickers and pins.
And I mean, I feel like we've come a long way in this. I feel like we are a hell of a lot better. If you want to compare this episode to, I would say we kind of got the ball rolling by like our 4th episode. Compare those two.
Yeah, first to this.
Yeah.
Or if you're a
Not
Patreon.
Not the first episode.
No.
I mean, it's a good one.
It is a pretty fun one.
Slide past 1, 2, and 3. Check out episode 4.
What's 4? Is it eugenics or IRBs?
No, I think let me check. I don't know what episode
I don't
4 is,
fucking know.
honestly.
But it's good. I did some World War II battles. I did
Also,
some of the Eastern battles.
How many fucking episodes have we done?
Total?
Yeah, 100? I don't know.
I actually...
Wait, don't click anything. You're going to log me out.
Oh, is that why I logged out?
Yeah, we're logging each other out back and forth. Sneaky Schemes.
Dude.
Sneaky Schemes and Incest is episode 4. That was the Closet Studio.
That was. This is the 100th episode.
This is the 100th episode.
I have 99 episodes on my list.
Oh my god, look at us.
Holy shit.
Reminiscing our 100th episode. What is this, a Simpsons episode?
100 episodes? That's so many.
We've done great,
That's
man.
100 weeks.
Yeah, that's a
Holy
no,
shit.
Well, yeah, it's 100. It is.
Yeah.
Because over the first season, we released every other week. You remember that shit?
That was nice.
It was, yeah.
I mean, we only did like 5 episodes, but...
Yeah, it was an 8-episode long season, I think.
Yeah.
It's a short
But-
one.
Damn. I did not know this was the 100th. We're celebrating right now.
Yeah, I just finished your apple cider, so...
Yeah, not bad for somebody who doesn't like
apple
apples
cider,
or
yeah.
cider.
Yeah. We got to make that mead here in a couple weeks, too,
Hell yeah.
before winter fully sets in.
But yeah, also, if you could subscribe on Patreon so I can buy WD-40 for my fucking chair.
Yeah, that's going to be the upgrade for before next season.
Oh, you know what? We should do that. We should buy some, like, actual office chairs.
We'll get there. We got an ad to buy. So.
Cheap ones. I mean, like $50 tops.
I mean, fine by me.
I think mine upstairs is $30 on Amazon. So,
But yeah, it has been
it's
has
been crazy.
a good year for the show.
And I mean, I thought I had a great year
Yeah, I mean,
personally.
that's fantastic. I'm glad to hear.
Good for
Yeah,
me.
I'm glad to hear it. But yeah, I really do appreciate you guys tuning in. And as much as I struggle every fucking week coming up with content, I really do love doing this. And
Yeah, it is fun.
I would not stop doing this. So
Nah, we're in too deep now.
yeah, I'm too committed at this point.
Did we point out when we did our 69th episode?
Nah, yes, I posted about it.
Okay, good.
I posted two tigers doing 69,
I remember that.
and they were not cartoons. I don't support furry porn.
Yeah, thank
I
you.
do, however, support animal on animal real life National Geographic
Animal love
photos.
making?
Yeah, I'm behind that. Literally.
The next milestone is 420 episodes,
Well,
and then you're
at
finally
this
going to get the
rate,
high show.
Yeah, that will be
the big
stone
show that we've been-
yeah. 40-year-old D and AJ just fucking bitching about life, as if we don't already.
Exactly.
But yeah,
Wow, I didn't know this was such
good
a
job.
momentous
This is a
last
monumental
episode.
episode.
Well, don't fuck it up.
All right. Well, so you know me,
I do.
and you know how I love travel plans.
Do you?
I have set
yes.
you guys up with trips to Spain. I've set you up to check out the golden beaches of South America, to find gold anywhere. I've made plans for you to visit New Zealand, to find the indigenous people that live there. And now
No, I'm pretty sure you set up all those trips with my wife and her boyfriend.
Yes.
That wasn't me.
And now I'm taking you back. We're not just going to Lake Tahoe. We're going to Lake Tahoe in 1980, baby.
Ooh.
It's a flash to the fucking past this week.
What was the general pube grooming habits during the 80s?
I think that it was a mix between just
70s
all
throwbacks.
natural,
Yeah.
or just a really, really poorly
Like a shape.
misinformed landing strip.
Perfect. Is that foreshadowing?
No, unfortunately, no.
No,
So
that would have been awesome. All right, so take me back.
So, if you go to Lake Tahoe in the 1980s, there was this great resort called Harvey's Resort, and it was a casino. Obviously, it was just this grand hotel. I mean, Lake Tahoe is a hotspot for skiers, boaters, gamblers, just vacationers. And I mean, it was the fucking 80s, dude.
The 80s.
Cocaine.
I was just going to say, cocaine's
up.
everywhere.
It was a fantastic time in Lake Tahoe. Shit, that stuff was all over the place.
I'm sure.
Now, in 1980, however, if you were visiting in like late August, you probably at some point would have seen three men in these blue jumpsuits. Not the Blue Men Crew, I know. But they were delivering, it basically looked like a printer to Harvey's Resort Hotel. They rolled it out of the back of the truck, rolled it up onto the curb, and they were kind of strange individuals. Now, among the skiers, boaters, gamblers, whatever, there was also a guy that was kind of popular there, and he went by the name of John Burgess. So that's just the 80s for you.
I'm
right?
ready. I was looking at the best things to happen, or things that 80s kids will remember, and it's boring.
Oh, yeah.
The end of MASH, the Just Say No anti-drug campaign,
Boo.
the beginning of the drug war, Reagan.
Oh, God, that's another anti-drug. Fuck this. No, X that list.
Hold on. No,
throw it
I got
away.
another one.
Who wrote this?
Walkmans.
The
Yeah,
Dare
right.
organization wrote this shit?
Darth Vader. Hands Across America.
That is a good one, though.
A Challenger explosion.
See, but the thing is, these are all
good. I give and a take.
terrible. Yeah, you gotta remember, these are kids that would find nostalgia in the 1980s. Not like, I feel like if you're in the 80s, you're thriving as like a teen.
That my dad was a teen in the 80s.
Yeah, and
I
look
think.
at how fucking cool he is.
Yeah, he would have been teen, young adult.
Okay, so back to business. So you see these three men delivering a printer into Harvey's. It's got like a really badly IBM logo printed on like a piece of fabric that's over the top of all of it. So it looks like it's going to be this grand unveiling.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah. The only thing is, on that day, at Harvey's, you would expect just a nice leisurely weekend.
Cigarette smoke everywhere.
Yeah, a nice chill weekend at Harvey's. However, today, Harvey's Resort in Lake Tahoe was going to become the hotspot for the largest bomb the FBI has ever seen to date today.
Damn.
So, in 1980, we're going to go back to our friend John. John was a retired landscaping contractor, and he had previously owned a restaurant. Now, he was currently gambling away the $355,000 insurance policy that he received after his restaurant mysteriously burned down, 3 years before, I think, 2 or 3 years before this.
How mysteriously did this burn down?
It wasn't terrible.
Would you say hello to my odorless fuel accelerant?
I'll get into John a little bit more. But John was known for spending hours playing blackjack at Harvey's. I mean, this guy was at high roller tables. He was not just like a regular Joe. He was a regular schmo, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, he was, however, not your everyday normal guy. So, John grew up in Hungary in 1922, and he ended up flying for the Luftwaffe.
Luftwaffe?
Yep. Good old John. Good old motherfucking John.
You know,
flying
that's
for the
really
Luftwaffe.
interesting because just as you were doing your notes, I was looking people up, and there was somebody born in Hungary in 1930, but he was Jewish. So he was a Luftwaffe pilot.
He was, man.
So he had Perséphone.
He was cruising around. Oh, more than likely, yeah. The dude was nothing but trouble.
Yeah.
So, John...
Nothing but trouble.
Nothing but trouble. So, he was actually captured by the Soviets in Siberia.
Those monsters.
Yeah, he was sentenced to 25 years of hard labor, and because of, I'm assuming how cutthroat John was, he was released after 8.5 years, which, for, like, World War II Soviets, that shit does not fucking happen.
They do not forgive.
Yeah.
About that shit.
And they will not forget.
No.
Yeah, so, I don't know what it is about this guy, but, like, he had some fucking tenacity. And throughout the story, he just gets people to do whatever the fuck he wants. I don't know what it is, but the guy, that's probably just the crazy Nazi pilot in him that's like just like demands. I don't know.
Yeah. Hey, if you speak with authority.
He's released after 8.5 years, but he is recaptured fighting Soviet forces in 1956 in Hungary. And he managed to speak perfect Russian to escape death and talk his way to freedom from Soviet forces in the 50s.
Damn. So he was like, I mean, he learned something in those 8 years, I guess.
Yeah, really, though. Now, John and his wife came to the United States in the late 1950s, as did a lot of people from, like, I mean, everybody was fucking coming to the U.S. in the 50s.
Oh, yeah, so, better than, Germany being all split up and all that shit.
Fucking UK was just Europe, I feel like, was a rough place to be in the 50s. Yeah. And then the 60s got a hell of a lot better.
Yeah, well, that's because they got mind-altering drugs.
Yeah, that and the Beatles. Like, how could you not say
it's the same thing. That's the mind-altering drug I was talking about.
Pandering music? Fuck yeah, sign me up.
Hell yeah.
So, they came in the 50s and got here in New Jersey, made their way over to California. And John, over the course of the next, 20 years, 30 years, he just would work, he found a really good landscaping company to work for. He ended up,
he went straight.
Flipping that. Yeah, he was doing really well career-wise. The money that he made landscaping, he was able to open a restaurant. He knew what he was doing. And honestly, they really were trying their damnedest to be the good old 1960s American family. He had 2 young kids at home, John, and I think the other kid's name was Jeff. Yes, he did name his first after himself.
What a bastard.
Yeah.
What a Hungarian bastard.
As was tradition at the time. So, as I said, John was really successful job-wise. Husband-wise and father-wise, not so much.
Yeah, I've read that about Nazis.
Yeah. So, John was incredibly abusive towards his wife. And he beat her within inches of her life.
Jesus.
Multiple times.
I was rooting for him.
No.
After you said Luftwaffe, Nazi pilot, I was rooting for this guy.
After I said largest bomb in FBI history, you were like, okay, I fucks with this guy.
Yeah, I know him. I know where he's at.
Yeah, he was regularly just beating the shit out of his wife. He would actually use his sons for basically slave labor for his businesses.
Oh, that's why he got ahead.
Yeah, he was basically the bad version of Bob from Bob's Burgers. And after a divorce in 1973, his wife moved out. However, because of the hold that John had over her, and because she was from Hungary, in the mid-70s, you can't go anywhere as a, American housewife.
Yeah, I assume no job or no, money saved up. You're kind of fucked.
Exactly. So she moves out of their house onto his property. So she's basically just living in a trailer on John's property.
She pulled a Veronica.
Yeah.
Yeah, straight up.
Essentially.
Luke and, yeah.
Yeah, this episode feels really tied to the last one, but
it wasn't on purpose.
Yeah, it was not. It kind of just turned this way, and I'm like, oh, man. So she lived on his property for 2 more years. Unfortunately, in 1975, she took her own life ODing on Valium and alcohol. And I really fucking wonder why. Considering John very likely didn't stop the fucking harassment and abuse.
Well, now I'm just wondering if she had a life insurance policy out on her.
I doubt it. I don't think so. Maybe, but yeah.
A suicide-only
There's a good
life
chance
insurance
she
policy.
did, but the money that was taken out and likely given to John would have just been gambled away anyway.
Yeah, probably.
So, after 1975, John kind of took a turn for the worse. I think
the worse?
Yeah, surprisingly enough.
It gets worse?
I think his wife gave him a slight sense of sanity because this was the beginning of like his gambling problems. This was, a lot of people said that this was where he just started neglecting his restaurant. He started neglecting the landscaping company, and he just started spending all of his time at Harvey's. At Harvey's Resort in Tahoe.
Okay, so he's living the dream. He's just living at a resort in Tahoe.
Yeah, and I mean,
cocaine.
when people would ask him his focus, he would tell them, yeah, oh yeah, trips to Tahoe coming up, trips to Tahoe, like I'm going to Tahoe tomorrow.
I'm a professional gambler.
And it wasn't about like his restaurant, it wasn't about his sons, it wasn't about the landscaping company, it was about Tahoe at this point. Now, in March 1980, John gets a file from the IRS, and they file for $34,000 in back taxes.
Ooh.
So,
that's a lot of money.
Suddenly, John's trips to Harvey's Resort changed just a little bit. And he talks to his sons, and I'll get a little bit more into later about what he talks to his sons about, but he starts watching operational staff a little bit closer. He starts to observe security shift changes. And at one point, John even goes out the front of Harvey's and measures the height of the curb.
That's not suspicious at all.
The attention to detail that he is now having when
it's the
he
German
goes on his
efficiency.
trips.
Oh, he's not German. Damn it.
The Hungarian efficiency. He's just going on these gambling trips with
a tape measure and a notepad.
Focus elsewhere. Yeah, he's still gambling, mind you. Like he has $350K to burn through. But
so this is post burn down.
Yeah. This is so.
Oh yeah.
It was
never
in
mind. I remember. It was
1980. He was served the money or the filing.
Sorry, I just got all flip turned upside down.
No, you're good. So. Yeah, he's going on these trips, but nobody's really suspecting anything because, it's just John
He's a
Burgess.
weirdo.
It is what it is. He comes here and wins a lot, then loses a lot, and speaks with a funny accent. It's good old John.
Yeah.
So, about 3 months go by, and John approaches his 2 sons, and he says, I am planning to steal the Declaration of Independence.
I knew you were going to say that.
So
sorry for the peeking.
It's
Jesus.
fine. It'll cut out in post.
Yeah. Post.
So he actually approaches his sons and he says, we are going to extort the Harvey Resort, which is a fun rhyme, but not a fun idea.
Extort them.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought they were just going to like back a truck up and
blow it up?
No, blow up the safe maybe.
No.
And take the money?
No. So, one late night in June, John Jr., and I'm going to call his other son Jeff because I don't give a fuck to look it up. Actually, I'll look it up right now.
Yeah, you should probably look it up just to be safe.
It's like right here. Jim. Yeah. John Jr. and Jim, they hop into their trusty old van, and they drive over to an underground hydroelectric pumping facility.
Oh,
and
okay.
They hop out.
Different.
It's dark, and they decide we're breaking into this place. They use a welding torch to cut through the locks, and they haul more than 1,000 pounds of Hercules Unigel dynamite sticks out.
Damn! Holy shit!
Now,
Are they extorting with the threat of leveling the entire block? I thought they were just gonna blackmail somebody. For fuck's sake!
So, John at this point had built a walk-in freezer in his garage that they're storing the dynamite sticks in. Because these fuckers are volatile. Like,
oh, yeah. You don't want them to get too hot.
And 1,000 pounds of it, like,
yeah.
You aren't surviving that when it's in your garage.
No.
No matter how lucky you may be, you will not survive 1,000 pounds of dynamite.
You don't think so?
Fuck no. So, John gets to work, and he builds a contraption that has 8 fuse systems.
Holy shit, this dude's going all out.
He I don't know, like, what the fuck is going on, but, like, the guy just zoned in, and he builds, like I said, the largest, even in 2021, it is the largest, like, homemade bomb the FBI has seen in the United States.
That's amazing.
So, he finishes building this whole thing, and he goes to his sons and says, hey, we need to fucking deliver this bomb. And both of his sons say, no.
Wow,
Yeah.
turncoats.
So,
They helped him build it, but they don't want to deliver it? What pussies.
And so he instead turns to his landscaping company, and basically men that had worked for him before that were looking for work, he promises these 2 guys $2,000 after he receives a payoff from Harvey's.
Makes sense.
And so they plan to deliver the bomb on August 25th. They're driving up to Tahoe. They make a couple different stops on the way. But the van that they're driving, it's just running like shit.
Everybody knows if you're going to deliver a fucking massive bomb, you should probably have a reliable van.
Yeah, so it's running like fucking garbage, man. So they decide, all right, we'll flip it around, we'll head back down a little bit, and we're going to check into a motel. We'll stay the night, but we're going to get up like 3 a.m. and drop this thing off, right? So
we're just going to leave this van full of dynamite in this motel parking lot. I sure hope no junkie goes poking around in that.
God, really, though. So they check into the hotel. John signs in as Joey Avetto, which I have no idea who that is, but you should look it up. Actually,
wait, do you know? Or
no,
is it a person?
It just sounds like such a, let's see. It sounds like
I don't
such
know how to spell it. You should.
Yeah, no. I searched the name and it just shows up Harvey's bombing. So John checks in as Joey Avetto, but the motel clerk takes down the California license plate. It's registered to John's son because it's John Jr.'s fucking van, dude.
I'd like to imagine that there is like a, you know the B-17 bombers in World War II, how they had the ladies on the cone? Mm-hmm. I'd like to imagine that this van has one of those, except she's wearing a Nazi uniform.
God, she's just in an SS officer uniform.
Yeah. She's wearing the leather jacket,
Jesus
the leather
Christ.
like trench coat that the Gestapo had, but nothing underneath.
Good Lord. Okay, so John, they get into the hotel, and the next morning, not even really the next morning, at like 2:30 in the morning, John is up, and he is like getting everything ready. He wakes up his 2 buddies and he says, "Hey, wake up. We like wipe anything clean of your fingerprints. Let's get the fuck out of here."
Yeah.
So they hop out in the truck. They turn the ignition and nothing happens.
Ooh.
And they find out that the battery on the van is dead. The biggest snafu of anyone driving a car anywhere.
Well, hear me out.
It's the most unlucky thing that could happen to anybody.
They can jump it with the fuses in the dynamite.
Great idea, yeah.
Create a small controlled explosion.
The thing for me about having to jumpstart your car is it is the most simple fix. The worst part about it is that you have to ask someone for help. You cannot do anything about your battery. And this is the 1980s.
Yeah, so, not during the 80s. Nowadays, you can have the jump pack or whatever.
You can have your own little fucking charging station, whatever. But a lot of people don't have them. In the 80s, it's just like you're fucking stranded until someone can help you out. So, the men with 1,000 pounds of bomb in the back of this van call a tow trucking company and ask him to jumpstart their van.
I hope they threw a blanket over
motel. This motel stop has turned into a fiasco at this point. Even though it's 2:30 in the morning, tow trucks aren't quiet. Tow trucks don't roll up silently. Like, these things are running fucking diesel, and you know that the motel owner is like, who the fuck is rolling up in this bullshit? Looks out the window, and he's like, it's that liar from the fucking van.
Is that a bomb
earlier?
In the back of that thing?
Yeah, what the hell is that? So it's turned into some bullshit, man. Like, it's not going well for John currently. So
no.
They get the van started, and on they go. It's still dark out and everything.
Yeah, it's not ruined.
Yeah, and they end up rubber banding a stolen Nevada license plate to the van over their old one.
Oh, it's so dumb.
And they
just stole a license plate from somebody?
They head on to Harvey's Resort, man. Now, when they get there, they park across the street because you don't...
Smart.
Yeah, you don't want to just fucking roll up with a bomb and just show their cameras who you are, right? I don't know. I
would put the bomb close.
They park across the street
so that if it went off, would do the job.
Yeah, that's fair. So they've got like a pulley system that John built to like lift this thing up, put it on a fucking dolly.
One of those dolly,
like
hotel dolly, like luggage carrier things.
I mean, they just put it on like a fucking cart, basically.
Cool.
So then they take this cart, and the fact that John made a bomb and the fact that he made a pulley system to lift it onto a cart is amazing, right? What surprises me about this story is that after they've put it onto the cart, they then hook the cart to the back of the van and they tow the fucking bomb across the street to Harvey's front door. Harvey Resort in Tahoe's front door. And
the fuck? Why not just unload it there?
Unhook this bomb that now had a much higher chance of it. Like, imagine hitting a pothole.
Yeah.
Like, you just fucking crater.
He probably used twine to tow it.
Yeah. Like,
what the fuck?
Dude cut costs in the wrong places.
He's but the fact that he was able to be so focused and smart in building the bomb. But then,
trust me,
fucks up the motel, fucks up the car, fucks up the delivery. What the fuck?
So, they get out in front of Harvey's, and surprisingly enough, they don't have to worry about rolling it up onto the curb because he has a system in place for moving it onto the curb seamlessly because he measured it. Now,
what a smart guy.
They take the bomb up to the second floor, and they put it just outside the slot manager's office. Now, the graveyard shift slot manager was basically just watching over the floor, watching cameras of the gambling floor at the time. His door's pretty much well closed, but he's kind of got like a hallway dedicated to himself, right? So they get into this hallway, and like I said, they're in these fucking jumpsuits. They look like they're rolling a printer into the place. It was made so that it would look like it was just this big fucking printer, though it was not. Actually, it probably could have exploded as much as those printers were beasts.
Yeah, they would suck you in if you tried to make a copy and your hair got stuck.
Murderers, man. So they roll this up. They take it onto the elevator, take it to the second floor, just outside the slot manager's office. Take off the fabric, leave it to the side. They put a little note on top, bunk, and they go to either end of the hallway. They close the doors, they fill the locks with glue, and they get toothpicks. And they jam toothpicks into the door stops so that it can't be opened, it can't be unlocked. Like, there is no way of getting into this fucking room without forcing your way in. And it was because they didn't want anyone to accidentally trigger it.
Oh, how nice of them.
Very sweet of them. So
all is forgiven.
Yeah, they hop back in the van and away they go. Now, they head back home. And a few hours later, the bomb is found by the graveyard slot manager. They evacuate the building, the hotel, in 50 minutes. Which is surprising.
That's pretty good.
That's all staff. That's all fucking guests. Everyone is out of the building in less than an hour. In like the middle of the night. Like,
yeah, that's impressive.
This is some impressive
for a lot
shit.
of people. That's hard to do.
The letter itself, they pop it open as everyone's gone. The FBI's been called. They open the letter, and it demands for $3 million to be delivered by helicopter to a disclosed location. And in exchange, so this is all in exchange for directions on how to disarm the bomb, obviously.
Okay.
The FBI decides to... So the guy that owns Harvey's Resort owns like 2 other casinos.
Okay, high roller.
Yeah. And so they reach out to the other casino and they say, hey, we need things with like Harvey's symbol stamped on them on duffel bags. And we want you to fill those duffel bags with pieces of paper that look like they're money. They're the same shape, the same weight, same size. Everything is the same, except that it's just paper.
So we want you to launder money.
Yeah,
I like that these casinos already had the capability to launder money.
To basically just have bullshit like paper that's already cut just like it. And in the letter, they're like, we want bills that haven't like run into, like they're not chemically fucking whatever, like they don't have any chemicals on them, they're unmarked, like all these demands, obviously. So
no dye packs.
Yeah, they give them paper, and Harvey's Resort Management chips in a couple $1,000s they sprinkle on top to make it look like these bags are full of money.
Smart.
And they get in touch with a helicopter, and they make plans to start this shit off.
So is the FBI saying, yeah, let's go along with it? Like,
yeah.
Oh, you guys are willing to do this? We're willing to help you out.
Yeah,
let's
the
set up
FBI
a trap.
says, yeah, we'll give you your $3 million if you save this resort and all these people, because this bomb is fucking huge.
No, sorry. No, the FBI.
What about them?
I may have just misunderstood exactly.
Yeah, so the FBI is setting all this shit up.
Yeah, they're saying, yeah, let's go along with it. Let's trick them.
Yeah.
Let's
this
trap
is the
'em.
FBI's idea, is tricking these assholes, basically taking a helicopter out there.
And doing it. Just doing it.
Yeah, giving them this bag of bullshit, disarming the bomb, and then saying, okay, now we'll find them.
Yeah.
So, they follow the directions in the note, and they head away to Tahoe Airport. Now, back to John. John...
Sipping tea at his house.
Yeah. So John had gotten home. He's rested up a little bit, and he gets his sons and his current girlfriend, and they head to their drop point.
They're going to go camping.
Yeah, right? They had planned to signal the helicopter with a strobe light. It's still dark. It's the middle of the fucking morning. Like, sun hasn't really come up yet. So they're like, we'll flash a strobe light at them, and when the chopper lands, they'll toss out the money, but we're going to take the chopper by force. Because John's an experienced pilot.
Ah. Oh, that's smart. I didn't think about that. I was like, they're just going to drop off the money and then be followed back to their cars?
So they're going to take the chopper.
They're going to have them land the helicopter.
And
throw their bags out.
I have a list of what
and
guns
then
they had.
Hijack it.
So,
guns? They had guns?
Yeah. They were going to take. They were going to take it.
They had a German Luger for some reason. They had a P-30.
They had a 303. 303 British, a 22 caliber Remington, and a 357 Magnum. So I mean, pretty standard for the 80s.
Yeah, that 303 will do some damage. That 357 will do some damage.
But it's such a 1980s fucking like heist.
It really is.
I'll show up with my fucking Remington.
Yeah, this is my hunting rifle. Here's my revolver.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So, they start heading to the drop point. And it turns out, I don't know what it is with batteries with these guys, but it turns out they forgot the battery for the strobe light. And this thing, it's not just like, oh, get a couple of D batteries and toss them in this thing. The only equivalent that you can get at this time of night is basically a car battery. So, this time, they didn't call up the towing company, but this time, they go to this like just random business. They're like, okay, well, there's a Volkswagen over there. Volkswagen.
There we go.
And they try to steal one out of this old Volkswagen. And the dude wakes up, fucking, he's like, get the hell out of here, pulls out his gun, chases him off. They're like, oh shit. Okay, we'll just go buy one. So
they should have started with that.
I know. So they go to this auto company. They buy a fucking battery for their strobe light. And that's where they kind of split two different ways. Now, John Jr. goes off on his own because he's going to make a couple calls. John's girlfriend is going kind of as like a getaway car, more or less. Which, it's smart. You split everybody up. You have 3 different vehicles. It's harder to track you.
And if something goes wrong with one person,
if something goes wrong with one of the vehicles, then you've got a backup.
And fuck's sake, this is so nice. It's such a family affair.
Yeah, I know, right? So, John and his son Jim go over to another area to flash the strobe light to get the helicopter's attention. Yeah. So.
I keep thinking this whole time, I'm like, where's Jeff? Oh, yeah, he doesn't exist.
Sorry, my bad. So John Jr. makes a call to the casino, and he informs the FBI, your instructions are located beneath the table in front of you, which is the worst thing to hear over the phone as an FBI agent because you know you have not been thorough enough. So he looks under the table in front of him, and a metal plate taped below the payphone has a letter with the following directions. Follow U.S. Highway 50 approximately 15 miles west from the airport, and then look for a strobe light on the right that will be your signal to land. So they call the pilot that's got the $3 million, I just did air quotes, the $3 million.
They could definitely hear
$3 million in printer paper in the helicopter. They give him a call, and they tell him the directions, so he flies up. And I mean, this guy has like 1,000+ hours of fucking experience. Like he's got a lot, or I think it was 10,000 hours plus of experience flying helicopters. Like the dude is experienced as fuck, and he works for the FBI. Like he knows what he's doing. So,
I've got a question. I don't know if you're going to go into it. Is the FBI like, okay, we know the area. Are they sending cars out there? Like, are they trying to triangulate the position? Are they watching the roads?
A bit. It's the 80s. Like, it's 1980.
Oh, I guess there's not phones.
It's not the 80s. It's 1980.
So they got to be like, there's a helicopter on the way. Try to beat it.
Yeah, so I mean, like,
because I know you're in the office right now because it's the only way I can call you.
Yeah, and I mean, mind you, like,
shit.
It does take a while for a lot of this. Like, it's getting close to sunup, but like
there's no
it's not like they
instantaneous
have
communication.
Fantastic communication.
No.
It's not like they have
God.
all of these wild resources. Mind you, they're the FBI, so they do have a lot of resources, but it's not nearly as good as it was, like, even 5 years later.
Damn.
So, yeah. So
that's fucked.
They call him. They tell him, hey, you need to fly 15 miles up Highway 50, and then on the right you'll see your strobe light. So he takes off, and I mean, the guy knows his distances. Like, he flies what he thinks is 15 miles. He's looking around. He doesn't see the strobe light. He circles back and circles the area for more than an hour, and he does not see the strobe light. So, at this point, he returns to the airport, and he waits by the phone for another 45 minutes to hear back. And that's where I'm going to leave you on this one.
Until next season.
No, we're going to come back
Bonus
next week.
episode next week.
We're going to come back next week for one more episode, because while I was writing these, I was like, yo, the second half of this is
the
a
action,
fucking blunder of events.
Well,
it is
so far
fun.
It's been a blunder.
Yeah, it
so
gets
just more.
way better.
Awesome.
So, yeah, we'll be back for one more special encore episode next week. So tune in, and then next week we will for sure have a date for you for when season 5 starts in January. So, AJ, you got that fucking Patreon pulled up?
Hold on, I want to talk about this.
No, I'm just kidding. Go for it. Yeah.
They didn't strobe him?
I don't know.
Or he went the wrong distance?
It's frustrating, I know.
I feel like they could have done this easier by giving them an exact point to land.
Imagine the stakes. Like,
yeah,
you're the FBI. You're waiting on a radio call from your fucking, like, pilot.
Saying, we're safe.
And you're like, what's the
disarm
update?
this.
And he's like, I'm circling back. And then you're like, you've circled back for 30 minutes now. And he goes, I know.
There's nothing out here.
I don't see a fucking
God.
strobe light. And they're like, we have a fucking bomb on the table.
A huge
that
bomb.
has 8 fuses. And it's the size of a 1980s printer. Like, this thing's fucking huge.
We're fucked up.
Yeah. And it's on the second floor of a casino. Like, they didn't take it up to the top. They're planning to blow this bitch down.
Damn. You can't even, like, pick it up and move it because you don't know if that'll trigger something.
Yeah. And I mean, you can look at the cameras, but it was 1980. It's like
They're not,
it's like looking at a digital camera through a fucking kaleidoscope. You're not going to get any luck there.
It's like me looking at my phone without my glasses on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Damn.
So it's bad news bears.
That's a spicy meatball.
Right now. Yeah. But you got the Patreon.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, patreon.com/points-o-pressure. I'm pretty sure that's it. I've been saying that.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, we'll see.
I'll look it up.
Thanks for, keeping the lights on. You're letting us expand, grow our audience.
That's
pay for our hosting.
Thing.
That's the
points,
thing.
Points of pressure, yeah.
Perfect. Letting us do some cool things on the back end that you haven't seen yet. Hopefully next season we'll have some new stuff. And so thank you. I'm not the guest host. Abby, AJ's third nut, Lindo, NSA isn't real, D's nuts,
Not me.
Nordic Thunder, Toddy Waddy Poopy Snotty, Dark Runner, Haley, and Casey McFacey. Thank you guys so much. I said all my stuff
Hey, keep
before.
the lights on in the place.
Yeah, let us host all these 100 glorious episodes.
Done it. Yeah, man.
Fuck Nazis. The one, all of them.
You know it.
I was gonna say the ones nowadays,
The ones nowadays.
not to demean the ones before. No,
Definitely fuck all Nazis.
yeah, and
Yeah.
I was getting ready to say see you next season.
No,
but
I gave you another week
me a
to
cop
really
out.
write your goodbyes.
Oh, perfect.
Because I know you're pretty heartbroken.
Oh
about
yeah,
it.
no, I am.
But
I don't know what I'm gonna do with myself.
Any questions, recommendations, suggestions, anything you guys have,
If you
reach
just wanna
out
talk
on Instagram and Twitter at pointsopressure. yeah, we're really fucking bad about social media, but I will always respond to messages there. If you want to talk to AJ, reach out on Patreon.
Yeah, or request me specifically on the social media, and he will text me.
Yeah, but thanks for tuning in this week, and we'll catch you fuckers next Monday.